Dubai, a city that rose from the desert like a mirage, a place sold to the world as paradise. The tallest towers, the most luxurious hotels, artificial islands shaped like palms, and even the world itself. A city where the future seems limitless. But behind the postcards, behind the Instagram feeds, behind the glossy ads, lies another Dubai. A hidden world of struggle, silence, and sacrifice. This is the side of Dubai that few ever see, and fewer still ever talk about. Not long ago, this was a small fishing and pearl diving town. Life was simple. The desert was harsh. When oil was discovered in the region, Dubai's rulers knew their reserves were small compared to neighbors. They needed another plan, a bigger vision. They dreamed of building a global hub, a city of business, tourism, and luxury. Within a single generation, the desert transformed. Highways cut through sand dunes. Towers rose into the sky. Malls became larger than entire neighborhoods elsewhere. The world watched in awe. But dreams like this don't build themselves. They are built by people, and in Dubai, most of those people are invisible. Nearly 90% of the city's population are migrant workers. They come from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, the Philippines, Kenya, and beyond. They leave families behind. They sell land. They take loans with crushing interest rates, all for a chance at opportunity. They arrive full of hope. Recruiters promise them good salaries, decent housing, a better life. But the reality waiting for them is very different. At the airport, their passports are often taken. Contracts are rewritten. The pay is much less than what was promised. They're bussed out to labor camps far from the city's glittering heart. In those camps, 10 or 12 men may share a single small room. Beds are stacked on top of each other. Toilets are shared by dozens. The heat is suffocating. Privacy doesn't exist. Every morning before sunrise, buses take them to construction sites. The desert sun climbs high. Temperatures pass 45 degrees Celsius. Still, the work continues. Long hours, little rest, minimal safety. Heat stroke is common. Injuries frequent. Some never make it home. When the Burj Khalifa was built, the tallest building on earth, it was celebrated as a human triumph. But few spoke of the men who risked their lives on its beams, who collapsed in the heat, who earned a fraction of what they were promised. The tower sparkles at night, but its foundation is sweat. For tourists, Dubai is paradise. Luxury malls, beaches, resorts where a single night costs more than a worker earns in months. Billionaires buy penthouses with private pools. On Palm Jumeirah, villas worth millions look out over the sea. The contrast is staggering. One world of champagne brunches and gold-plated cars. Another of men crammed into dormitories, eating rice and lentils, sending most of their pay home to repay debts. The system keeps these two worlds apart. Tourists never see the labor camps. Residents rarely speak of them. The separation is intentional, but the struggle is not only about labor. It's also about freedom. Dubai presents itself as open and cosmopolitan, a crossroads of cultures. But the truth is more complicated. Criticism of the government is dangerous. Dissent is not tolerated. Journalists are restricted. Social media is monitored. What might be a harmless tweet elsewhere can lead to arrest here. Silence is enforced, and people learn quickly what can and cannot be said. Women face their own struggles. Dubai sells itself as modern, progressive, yet laws often favor men in marriage, divorce, and custody. Victims of assault sometimes find themselves charged instead of protected. For many female migrant workers, especially domestic helpers, life can be unbearable. Trapped inside homes, phones taken away, endless work. Some face abuse with no way to escape. Their stories rarely make headlines, but they are real. And then there is the environment. To build Palm Jumeirah, millions of tons of sand were dredged from the seabed, coral reefs destroyed, currents disrupted. To keep the city alive in the desert, vast amounts of energy are used. Water is desalinated at great cost. Brine is dumped back into the sea. Ski slopes indoors, golf courses in sand, parks watered daily. Luxury has a price and nature pays it. Even the economy itself is fragile. Dubai is not built on oil like its neighbors. Its wealth comes from finance, tourism, and above all, real estate. The promise of growth fuels everything, but growth cannot last forever. In 2009, during the global financial crisis, construction stopped. Towers stood half-finished, silent. Investors pulled out. The dream wavered. And during the pandemic, with flights grounded and tourists gone, hotels sat empty. The system showed its cracks. At night, the Burj Khalifa glows across the desert sky. But far away, in camps hidden from view, workers collapse on thin mattresses. Their bodies ache. Their dreams fade. They whisper to each other in languages foreign to the city they built. They hope their families back home will understand. This is the truth beneath the shine. A paradise built on sacrifice. A future sold at the cost of freedom, equality, and dignity. To see only the glitter is to see only half the story. To know Dubai, you must ask who built this, who pays the price, and who gets to enjoy the dream. To truly understand the dark side of Dubai, you have to listen to the hidden voices, the voices that rarely make it into the headlines. Picture Ramesh, a young man from Nepal. He leaves his mountain village with dreams of lifting his family out of poverty. He borrows money, sells what little land his family owns, pays a recruiter who promises him good wages in Dubai. When he arrives, his contract is changed. His pay is cut almost in half. His passport is taken. He is sent to a camp on the edge of the desert. He shares a cramped room with 10 other men. There is one bathroom for dozens. The food is plain rice and lentils. Every morning he climbs onto a bus at dawn. Every day he works under a sun that feels like fire. He drinks little water because long bathroom lines waste precious minutes. He doesn't tell his family the truth. Instead, he says, "I'm fine, don't worry," because if they knew what he was going through, their hearts would break. Now picture Maria, a young mother from the Philippines. She takes a job as a domestic helper. She hopes to send money home for her children's school fees. But in Dubai, her phone is taken away. She cannot call her children. She works from sunrise to past midnight, cleaning, cooking, caring for kids that aren't her own. Sometimes she is shouted at. Sometimes worse. She wants to leave, but the law is not on her side. If she runs, she could be arrested. If she complains, her employer holds the power. She stays silent. She endures, because her children need the money even if it costs her freedom. These are not isolated stories. They are everyday realities. They are the backbone of the Dubai miracle. But the brochures won't show Ramesh. The ads won't mention Maria. Their lives are hidden because their stories clash with the fantasy Dubai wants the world to see. And then there is silence. A silence that stretches across the city. People know what can and cannot be said. A careless post on social media, a single comment, and consequences can be severe. Arrest, deportation. Worse, freedom is not what it appears to be. Dubai calls itself global, modern, open, but openness has strict limits. Step outside them and you learn how fragile freedom really is. The city is also fragile in another way. In 2009, the global financial crisis exposed cracks. Construction slowed. Towers froze in half-built silence. Investors vanished. The dream looked uncertain. And again in the pandemic years when planes stopped flying, tourists disappeared. Luxury hotels sat empty. The system relies on constant growth, on new money flowing in. Without it, the facade begins to wobble. A city built on sand, both literally and economically. And let us not forget the environment. Palm Jumeirah, the world islands, projects that look stunning from above. But beneath the water, ecosystems destroyed. Coral reefs gone. Marine life disrupted. Millions of tons of sand moved. The sea reshaped. The cost of luxury is invisible beneath the waves. The desert, too, pays the price. To cool glass towers in 45-degree heat takes enormous energy. To water parks and golf courses in a land with almost no natural water requires endless desalination. Waste brine is dumped back into the sea, making it saltier, threatening life in the Gulf. Ski slopes indoors, ice rinks, fountains shooting water into the desert air, all consume resources the planet can barely afford. The dream is bright, but the cost is enormous. And yet, despite all this, Dubai remains magnetic. To tourists, it's escape. To investors, it's opportunity. To workers, it's still hope. Fragile, risky hope. The city has mastered the art of selling dreams, but those dreams are not equally shared. On one side of the city, billionaires race supercars down Sheikh Zayed Road. On the other, workers line up for buses after 14-hour shifts. In a single evening, a tourist may spend more in a nightclub than a worker earns in a year. The divide is sharp, painfully sharp, and yet carefully hidden. Dubai thrives on invisibility. Tourists don't see the labor camps. Journalists don't dig too deep. Residents learn to stay quiet. The brand must be protected. The illusion must remain. But look closely and you'll see the cracks. And still, even in the shadows, there is resilience. Workers share food, share stories, share laughter despite exhaustion. They send money home. Their children study. Their parents receive medicine. Their sacrifices ripple across continents. Their dignity shines even in hardship. But dignity should not demand suffering. Progress should not demand silence. Dubai tells the world it is the future. But we must ask, what kind of future is this? A future where towers scrape the sky but human rights scrape the ground? A future where luxury blooms but the environment withers? A future where voices are silenced so dreams can shine brighter? This is not just Dubai's story. Many global cities rely on invisible labor, on inequality, on exploitation. But in Dubai, the contrast is extreme. In one generation, the desert became a metropolis. But behind the speed and the spectacle lies a truth too often ignored. So when we see Dubai's towers glitter in the night, when we see influencers pose on beaches, when we see ads promising paradise, we must remember there is another side. Behind every chandelier, a worker scrubs floors. Behind every villa, a laborer lays bricks in the heat. Behind every artificial island, an ecosystem is forever changed. Behind every silence, there is fear. To see Dubai clearly, we must see both sides. The glamour and the struggle. The triumph and the sacrifice. The dream and the darkness. This is not about rejecting Dubai's achievements. It is about acknowledging their cost. It is about giving voice to those who are silenced. About honoring the unseen millions who made this dream possible. And so, when the world looks at Dubai and sees a miracle, we must also see the shadows. Because only then can we understand the whole truth. This is the dark side of Dubai.